Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm with a very special guest, the one and only Big Jones, baby.
Yes, sir. What it do?
You're my first Seattle artist on the Zoom interview side, but I literally an artist reached out to me and was like, I see that you're doing like other artists like outside of Seattle right now because of the virus, but there's still a lot of artists that in Seattle that are still grinding, trying to put out merch, trying to put out albums. And I was like, that's a good point. Like Seattle artists need love during this time. So if it's Zoom, if that's the way we have to do it, it's the way we have to do it. But I saw that you've been promoting your album for a while, and I was like, that album art is fire. And then you just put out that like 2-single EP with Cash, and that shit was fire. So I was like, it's time,
Hey, appreciate you, bro, for real.
So this is actually probably one of the most important questions for the whole entire interview. So it's not like I did research. I just like saw you mention it once or twice. You have, I think it's a brother or a cousin named Blake also. So I want to know, is Blake a white name?
I mean, growing up, I don't think it is just because that's my brother's name, man. My brother ain't white, so I'm just like, when I meet Blakes, I'm like, they've all been black, honestly. But I don't know. I guess it's like, shoot, if you carry it well, you carry it well.
True. Some people tell me, they're like, when I think of the name Blake, I think of a white guy on a yacht with a polo sweater tied around his neck. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh man, I'm dying. That caught me off guard.
But one thing I actually like, I've listened to a few of your interviews, and I actually still don't know. I'm guessing your last name is Jones, but what is the meaning behind your name?
So I started off rapping when I was like 12 years old. Started off as I went by The Prince,
Right.
and then I went by Kid Jones. Or no, my bad. I went by BJ Louis.
Hey.
My name is Byron Jones, and my middle name is Lewis. So I just went by BJ Louis back in the day, like 12, 13, 14. Went by The Prince, and then I went by Kid Jones. And then I was about to have my first daughter, so then I was like, I can't have a kid and then be called Kid Jones. Took the kid off, and then I went by Jones. And then I was like, that looks kind of bland there. So then I was like, everybody does like the little thing, like little this, little that. I'm like, I'm 6'4", so I was like, I'm gonna go by Big Jones.
Dude, I'm like 5'7". My mom's only 4'11", so I'm fucking tiny. I can fit with little,
You can do it.
But I do like how you stylize your name. And then when we were talking about album art yesterday, and you were saying all caps, and like, so I research, like I do a fuck ton of research on every single guest, no matter how big or small they are. So I look up your name on streaming services to see if anyone else has your name or anything like that. But the thing that you do that is smart is you capitalize and you have the $ for the S.
Correct.
That's all purposeful?
Yeah, I do that just so that, just like you said, like when you search up Big Jones, all caps, $, even with the lower cap $, like I'm the only one popping up.
Yeah.
A lot of people have like the same last name. I know I have like a hella common last name, so I'm like, I know I ain't the only one, but it's unique the way I spell it and shit, and then the music just goes with it.
For sure, dude. And your music is fire, dude. And I actually, like, I'm telling you, when I research my guests, I listen from their first song all the way to their final song, music videos. And one thing, and when you guys put out the No Love music video, I commented on Cash's page, and I was like, what the heck? Is that Chris Tucker?
Like, oh, that was you. I'm dying.
Because, dude, that's one of my favorite things that you do in music videos. You don't do it that often. I think you should do it more because it's something that stands out in your music videos, is that you'll do like a fourth wall break, or you'll just break up the music video, or start the music video with like the Bentley Coupe music video. You're like, oh shit, my car's not starting. Then you start the song. Or with No Love, you like break it up and you're like, cut. I'm like, oh shit, like I see that.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I definitely want to keep doing that more. I think that it gives me a chance to show like another lane that I have like personality. So bringing that on like the camera and putting it to use, like it helps sometimes with the music video and just the interactions and like
For sure.
relatability.
And I saw that you collabed with Dave B. How did that come about?
Yeah, that was I think that was about 2017. We did a song called Moment. I just reached out to his management. I know his management through people I know, so it was just cool. I could reach out to them, ask if, how much the feature was from Dave B, send him the song. It was something like that. And he sent a verse back, and the song turned out good. So that was a cool thing to have early in my music journey. So,
how do you think Dave B falls on to like the Seattle music timeline? Because when it comes to like artists that are like real lyricists and focus on lyrics, like one of the first people to say in Seattle that's made it is Dave B. But then others who are like more melodic will be like Band Kid J or Little Mosey. Where do you think he falls on that spectrum?
I think everybody just has their own lane and has their own level because everybody sounds different. Everybody has their own sound. So when it comes to like falling on like the spectrum or like on like I don't know, like a level thing, I don't think there's any of that. It's just everybody has their own sound and they're the best at it.
Mm-hmm.
So Dave B has his sound and he has his flows and his music is hot. He's doing shows cross country, overseas, like he's doing his thing. So he's definitely high up on the ladder.
Mm-hmm. And the one thing we're definitely going to talk about during this interview is like definitely your new album, man. Like I listened to it front and back. I don't really do album reviews yet because I feel like that's something that like the Indian kid does when he brings out like his new shoes or like a laptop. Like, hey guys, I want to unbox this album or unbox these shoes. I'm not that type of guy in any sense, but one thing that I am going to do like for the promotion for you is I want to like say my top 3 songs for the album because dude, front and back that album was fire, and like I think you kept it a good length also. You know, some people will be throwing 20 songs on an album, and those are like artists in the industry. I'm like, shit, I like you Eminem or I like you whoever, but shit, 20 songs.
Mm-hmm.
What made you decide the length of your album?
I just earlier in my music journey when I started releasing projects, first project I released back in 2013. So back then I used to do like between 13 to 16 tracks on projects, like my first 4 probably. And it was good, like, you know, people heard them and all that. But then like as I just started being more aware of how everything moves and you realize attention spans, you're like, and just knowing how I am, I always make music as if I was the listener and like the viewer as well, you know? So I know me, if I'm clicking on a project and they got 17, 16 songs, I'm skipping at least a few of those. Yeah. Unless I really heavily fuck with the artist. But I know everybody who listens to my shit, they might not be their 30th time hearing me. They might not already heavily fuck with me. It might be their first. So I want to give you a nice little, every project is like a tryout for me. Like whoever hears that, I hope this project gets you hooked. Because I put a lot of work into it, a lot of time, all that. So then a certain time came where I was like 10 tracks, like 10 or less is probably what I'll do. Maybe sometimes I'll do 11, but I'm just like, I'll keep it short and I'll make the songs the best possible so that it's not just short and like, you're like, where's more? It's short. It's regular length. And you're just like, I feel full after that. It's 29 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I think Kanye, what he did, I think it was like a few years ago, maybe 3 now, maybe sooner than that. But when he did that album rollout for all his members on his label, like Tiana Taylor, Nas, him, Kid See Ghost, those are all 7 songs. That was kind of cool, though.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
But I think another thing that I like, some artists aren't good at like taking criticism, or they kind of get stuck in like one space. I think you do a good job of like actually definitely showing progression in your music. The production on this last album compared to your first album has definitely changed. And the thing that I like about albums is like albums that have like meaning behind it is that sometimes it doesn't even have to be the lyrics that have the meaning behind it. It's like the beat, you know, like like Lil Wayne's newest album, The Funeral, all of his sometimes he was talking about the funeral during the album. Sometimes it was just the beats that were like scary almost, you know? And like with you you had like you're like bass and it was like boom boom for every song, like a championship. It was like a championship album. Like I really felt that listening to every single song.
Hey, that's good because that's my goal with it. Like usually when I make projects, I'm not gonna lie, like I just make a whole bunch of in my head that what is hot music and I put it on a project. And like it's not really like storyline or like theme oriented, but I make a cool title that I feel like, you know, good about. Like I have a reason for naming it what I name it, but the songs per se don't match up with the title because that wasn't my goal. This is the first time I've ever, well, Can't Quit, I did it. This is my 10th project, but my 9th one, Can't Quit, I did it kind of like that. Like those songs were kind of on the theme level. But with Winners Can't Lose, the title was so heavy, I really had to make sure that I made it clear like what I'm trying to get through. And like you said, you felt like every song was on some championship vibe.
Yes.
I threw in the nice mellow track on the I Just Wanna track with Alex Cade, just to like, you know, balance it out a little bit. I know some real hip hop heads want to hear certain beats, like a little bit of different sounds. So I'm a hip hop head. I'm a rap head, R&B, trap. I listen to everything. So I want to make sure all my listeners get their little taste and get their little niche.
Yeah, makes sense. And you're not like selling yourself with that either though, you know? Like you make it fit you still.
Yeah.
How'd you choose the guests for your album? Like you had some fire guests. They all fit perfectly.
Man, thank you. Really, two of my features are my cousins, A Malo and G. Those are my blood cousins. We've been doing music, so I had a good feeling about this project, and I was like, no one I'd rather have on it than my actual family, you know. So made that move, had them on it, and like you said, everybody fit perfect. So I had those beats, and I knew that they would fit perfect. I knew their sound. They gassed their features. My guy Bobby Brooks is one of my good friends. He's doing a lot of things out here, music-wise and business-wise. And we have a couple songs actually that we've released before, but it's been some time, so it was something that song, track 3, I believe it is, I'm Black. He's on that one. Yeah, he's on that one. And he gassed that. So like, I just have an ear for who would sound good on shit. Like the I Just Wanna track. Alex Cade has a whole bunch of music out. He's filthy. He's from Detroit, but he lives out here in Seattle now.
Wow.
And he just had like such a pure sound. I heard that just before he was even in the booth. First time I met him was when we recorded the project. But I heard that beat and I just like knew, okay, I want you on this. Like, bang, got that moving. He was with it. And then my guy Noah, we are both managed by the same manager. So that's how I met him and knew him, but we become friends and like built a relationship. So I hit him up for the track 9, Tell Him, and he came and gassed that like usual. So really that's how it came about, just real organic and just I have an ear for beats and I have an ear for who would sound good with shit. So like that's why it sounded so well the way we all just meshed on those songs.
Yes, for sure. The first time I actually heard any of your music, it was actually kind of recently, but when you did the I think it was the box freestyle with your daughter in your
oh yeah
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
When you ended with that big Sean line, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Shit was fire.
Thank you.
So how do you go about making music now that you have a family, you know? Like, are you like worried about how your daughter, if she grows up listening to your music, how she'll feel about it or anything like that? Or
no, honestly, I mean, like I play my music now, and my daughter, she's my oldest daughter will be 2 in May, and she listens to the songs and like she knows all the melodies. Like she literally knows every hook off of Winners Can't Lose. Like she knows the ad libs and like she don't be saying the cuss words, and like if she do, like, you know, because she's a kid, so she'll say it, but like, you know, we teach her like, yeah, that's a no. She don't be saying them like that, but the music I make, like, you know, that's the music I make, and at the end of the day, what I'm doing is to provide for my family. So my lady, like, she knows what the mission is. Like my daughters, when they're growing up, they're gonna know what it is. Like my family's behind me. So other than that, like I'm just making the best music I can make.
For sure. How do you go about promoting yourself?
Really, it's just that, you know, as an independent artist, you gotta do everything on your own. So I just make sure I'm always in people's faces, not even on like an annoying tip, but like you'll always see me with a story up, or you'll always see me on the storyline on IG. Like I always got something up, even if it's not about me or music. Like I'm just a real cat. So like I'm a sports head. I post shit about sports, or just like stuff going on like in like the culture, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just like I'm low key like the little news. Like if you follow me, you got the little news and you get the music. So I'm like, you know, I'm the best of both worlds with it.
Yeah.
But music wise, like promoting, like I just stay creating. I make music that's timeless, so I can always promote it, no matter if I dropped it a year ago, 2 years ago. Like won't miss. I promote that to this day, and it still gets a lot of love and a lot of traction whenever I post it. Like that's one of my favorite songs, and shit like that. I just make sure I make good music so I can always have something.
For sure. With your No Love song, your guys' music video, oh my God, I love that. Like Cash had like the basketball kind of scene, and then you had the baseball scene.
Yeah.
That was fire.
Yeah. That shit was dope.
Is baseball your favorite sport then, or?
My favorite sport to play, because I played it the most, is basketball.
Because you're tall.
Favorite sport to watch is football, because I grew up in a football family. Like my dad, brothers, uncles, like everybody played football. It was filthy, so it's just like, you know, I grew up around that. So I love football, and I love watching basketball too, and I love baseball. I love sports, but
yes.
I'm a real diehard Mariner fan and shit.
Did you hear what happened to like was it the second string quarterback for the Seahawks? Did you hear what happened? Dang.
Hella crazy.
That's why you got to stay home.
Man, crazy. I was like, I really remember Tavares because like he was around before us, so he was the one we were hoping, like, you know, guide us to the promised land, you know.
Yeah.
He was a solid backup, and all the stories about him, like the players have, like, you know, it's all the same, like good dudes. So I was just sad he had to leave so early, man. Yeah. And he had kids.
Yeah. How are you managing the coronavirus? Because you do have kids. Like, what precautions are you taking? Anything like that?
Man, I mean, honestly, like, first off, you know, I'm praying for everybody going through something, dealing with that, with the COVID and the corona. It's crazy times we're living in right now. Some people aren't built for this, not even on not even to talk down saying they're not built for it, but some people just aren't built for being isolated like this for such long periods of time. So it's really testing a lot of people. But for me, I'm an introvert / extrovert. So this is how I lived before. You know, restaurants are closing shit, but they do delivery. All I do is order food.
Yes.
I'll be chilling at the house, creating, writing, chilling with my fam. Like we go on walks still. We still get outside and shit. So like low key, like I'm a big homebody. So this isn't really like, you know, shifting nothing, but it's giving me just more time to just create and come up. I've come up with a lot more just like business plans, merch ideas. I've invested into things I wasn't even thinking about doing before. So like it's giving me time really to just create and build more on what I'm doing.
For sure. Are you worried about, like, will your mind change at all if they decide to push back the quarantine till June? Like, are there any further steps you're going to take if that happens?
I mean, nah. Like I said, man, like I'm really not. If they push it back till June, they push it back till June. Like it's cool. I'm not even tripping. Like I understand they're trying to keep us safe. That's why we're quarantining. Period. So the end goal is good. So I'm with it, no matter how long.
And you said you're continuing to write and stuff like that, right? You said.
Yeah, right. I just went to the studio yesterday. I consider that essential work because people pay you for features. You know, you still gotta go record and send them features. Like, so I was in the studio, you know, masked up and still recording. I'm still creating. Got to keep moving.
What do you think about all those coronavirus anthems?
Man, it was dope. My favorite ones was Paris Alexa did one.
Oh shit!
And my guy Keyshawn did one. Keyshawn's was hella dope. Like he released a full track to it. And it was filthy. Like I slapped that shit like 30 times. I was like, this is hella catchy. Like, and it was about coronavirus, you know. So hella people dropped them shits. I heard a lot of them, man. But like, you know, you can only hear so many of like the same type of song. But it was dope hearing.
For sure. And like you said, you're like 10 albums in, and you have a manager, and you're to the level where like you're paying for features and everything like that. How did you get to those levels? You know, like some artists are like, oh, here's my SoundCloud page, where I'm an independent, and independent, I mean, I don't even have a manager yet. Like, how'd you get to that level where you have all these resources?
And honestly, just I know it sounds cliche, but like right place, right time. Like, and it's also not even right place, right time, but just timing of everything you do. So I started off when I was 12. Until I was like 16, I was getting like, people commenting on the stuff like weak, trash, like literally like that was back when people would just be hella like raw in the comments and like
Yeah.
it wasn't all like I'm gonna show love. It wasn't no fake love back then because people would just tell you like trash. And people was like weak, done, like through all that, like I know that like I know what my purpose was and I know that like I could grow on it and I could get better. So I just kept at it, kept going. Got to like 16, 17, I really started to be like, okay, I'm done with sports. Cause I played sports up to like 17, junior year. I quit sports and I was like, I'm about to just focus on like writing music, trying to develop something and see what I can make out of the music. And when that started, I really honed in on it. And then management came, like I said, right place, right time. I did a show at Studio 7, and he had an artist there. This is my first manager. I have a second manager right now. Like, the manager I have right now is my current one, of course. But this is my first manager. I met him at this show. He liked my set. From there, we made a lot of moves, and that's how I got connected with a lot of things. And I toured, and I traveled the country with him. We did a lot of things. And that was my first time getting that exposure of, like, having a manager, all of that. That was a good experience. And then recently, my manager Logan has been managing me about the last 2 years, and we've had a big focus on what we want to do, and we've been achieving those goals lately. So it just comes with just meeting the right people and making sure that people are in it for the right reasons, also that are working with you and just want to see you win.
Got it. One thing that a lot of my artist friends have been dealing with is that they're like, yeah, like they're about to take it to the next level, but then they're starting to have, and this is not even just one artist, this is a few that like are like, I just realized that my artist has been like my best friend for a long time, and we're starting to have friendship versus business like problems. How do you figure out how, because like like your first manager is like is sometimes like your first car, like you get really excited and then sometimes it's time to upgrade, even though that sounds awful. But
man, I mean, honestly, like with my first manager, like we're cool to this day. Like that's my dog still, and I think it was just one of those things where it was just like timing. Everything, like I said, timing, man. So like, it wasn't any bad blood with the split. It was just more so, like you just said, like we became hella good friends, and then like I feel like just you can't mix business with pleasure all the time. Like
sure.
the other than but it wasn't like nothing bad happened. Like it was just time. Like people do our own things, and like he had that vision for it. He wanted to go. I had a vision for it. I wanted to go, and we both did our thing, and we're still cool to this day. So I don't know. It's really just about your relationship with your manager. Some people only see their manager on business tip, or like only contact them about business. But like even my manager right now, like we're cool. That's my guy. That's my bro. But we still get stuff done. We still make moves. So that's how it works.
Right. Has your mindset changed at all since you had a daughter and all that? Because like you said, your new manager's like 2 years now, and you said your oldest daughter is 2. So has your mindset on how you're conducting business changed since having a family?
I mean, I've always taken my stuff serious, even before my daughters came. So honestly, I'm just still doing what I've been doing. Of course, just leveling up every time I do something to make sure that the result is bigger. But my kids just add drive to what I'm doing. But other than that, I'm still me.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing too, though. Like honestly, like no matter how big or small you are, like the best advice is just like continue to grind and be passionate. Like sometimes people hate to hear that, but I kind of think that like the universe gives you things if you're really grinding and working at it. Sometimes it takes people longer than others, but it's definitely a grind no matter who you are. Like even if you're born with all the tools, like DJ Khaled's son, in a sense,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean when he's 25, 30, he's still going to be relevant,
Exactly.
But it all comes with time. And I think one thing that, and this is weird too, and like my mindset changes on everything once I because I'm always open to like new perspectives and things. And like one thing that it's not like I'm purposely staying away from it, but what I notice is like the lunch table will have certain guests, Hip Hop Seattle will have certain guests, and then I'll have certain guests. And then sometimes I chop it up to, well, there's thousands of artists in Seattle. But then sometimes I'm like, wait, that guy was just on the lunch table and then he's on the Hip Hop Seattle. But it doesn't mean that they're being greedy in a sense or anything like that. It's just that they're putting in that work. And that's what I've noticed with you. And that's like crazy, man. Like I honestly can't tell how big or small I am right now. I just know that I'm working hard. But like now you've got 3 freaking interviews in the hip hop scene under your belt now.
Yeah. That was one of the things I wanted to put a lot of work into, just like, because growing up and to this day, I watch interviews like I watch TV, like interviews. I watch all the Breakfast Club interviews, Drink Champs, like any podcast that has interviews really like hip hop related. I watch those just to learn how to, like, not even conduct yourself during the interview, but just like how interviews go and like how these people deal with certain questions and stuff. Like anything you do, you gotta study it and like treat it like it's a sport. Like you gotta perfect your craft. You gotta really put in the work. And some of that work is like watching film, and that's for me like watching interviews, stuff like that, performances. So there came a point where I was like, I want to get some interviews under my belt so I can watch my shit on YouTube and like really just get my name out there and have people from different platforms and different audiences like tap into what I'm doing, and also just get to meet, like good people that host the platforms that I'm on. Like I just met you, and like through Kaj, and I can already tell you're good people. My guy Henry over there at Hip Hop Seattle, High Def, like he's good people. We got some work in now. And my guy Cash, Mitch, and Fees over there at Lunch Table. Those are my guys now, and Itch over there. So everywhere I go, I just build connections. Real recognized, real good people are good people. So it's all good.
For sure. What I like to joke about or like imagine is that I want to be the Joe Rogan for Seattle, and then Hip Hop Seattle and the Lunch Table can fight over who's the Breakfast Club and Sway in the Morning.
You can definitely be that. You can definitely do it.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah, that battle over Breakfast Club is gonna be vicious. I don't know who's gonna get that one.
I'm telling you, it's a grind for everyone. Whether you're in a podcast and whether you're an actor, artist, anything like you. This is like, I'll admit it. Sometimes I've been like just slacking and just hanging around all day, staring up at the ceiling, like, what can I be doing during this quarantine? But like, you gotta work. This is not really a vacation right now,
Exactly. But if you come out of this quarantine with nothing done, then it's like, man, come on. You had all that time.
Exactly.
It is rare people have this much time. So people have the time now. There's no excuses for nothing. Unless you're an essential worker and you're actually at work right now and shit. But.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy to think. Like they're still getting paid, which is important, but it's risky, I feel, at the same time. But.
No, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, my girl is an essential worker, but she's able to work from home, luckily. So that's the cool thing about that. But yeah, like people that have to go in and shit and still be around people, like, man, prayers up, because it's not the time to be doing all that shit.
For sure. But like you were saying about interviews, like that's a big thing too. Like I think it's important for artists to see how other artists act during interviews. Like I made sure that I listened to all your albums, listened to both your interviews for my next guest, because they're a full group, So I had to listen to the group interviews. I had to listen to separate interviews. So yesterday, literally, I spent 8 hours listening to freaking interviews. Yeah, and the thing is, you don't, especially when you're like an interviewer, you don't want to beat a dead horse when it comes to questions, because like sometimes I'll be like, why is this guy asking what the meaning behind this guy's name is or how he got his start, when this guy is like CeeLo Green or like Jay-Z or Drake or anyone? How'd you get your start? Bro, they've been relevant for like 10 to 20 years. You don't ask those type of questions anymore.
Yeah, I hear you.
So how did you come up with the title of your name and everything like that for your new album? Winners Can't Lose, right?
Yeah, Winners Can't Lose. I called it that really because it's a mentality. And a lot of people are going to hear that and be like, man, everybody people are gonna hear that and be like, everybody loses, everybody catches an L, but to that, like, that's why I named my title that for, because if you're a winner, and you're a winner, and here you're a winner, and here you're a winner, like,
Yes.
you can't lose. Like, you cannot lose, because if you're a winner, you're a winner. You're not a loser. So that's why I named it that, hoping to get that point across. Like, you got to carry yourself like a winner. Don't look at quote-unquote losses like losses. Just look at it like an obstacle, and the obstacle might have hit you back a little bit, but you're going to end up winner because you're going to get past the obstacle, even though it knocked you back. Nobody stays back when they get knocked. You got to keep going. So winners can't lose. You got to let everybody know.
One of the songs by Tech Nine, it was like one of his maybe 2 albums ago. He like started the song by saying, "Winners aren't people that fail; they're people that don't quit." Like everyone fails sometimes, whether it's big or small, but it's how you get up and continue. But
exactly, that's real shit.
How do you choose your album art? Because your last 2 album art, you said the last one was Can't Quit. What was the name of your last album again?
Can't Quit.
Okay, Can't Quit. Yeah. How did you like? Those are your album art for this one and the last one are kind of similar in a sense, like the artistic style.
Yeah. The last one I had my guy Abdi. He did that cover art. He does a lot of like photography and shit, but he also does like cover arts on the side, and he's real nice with the art. I hear what you're saying when you say that the cover arts are similar. Like they're just real art. It's real art. So
yeah,
it's not just like a digital picture or nothing like that. So that's how that one came about. And then for this one, I hit up my guy Austin Harley, and he sketched out the whole rough for what I wanted the cover to be, because I was telling him like how I wanted it to look, this, that, and the other, and he just went above and beyond and really brought it to life, and it looked hella real. Like I love the cover art for this project. It might be my favorite cover art ever done. Like, and like it just really represents the project well. Like one thing I do with cover arts, before I drop the project, I'll listen to the whole project while looking at the cover art to make sure that it's dope and meshes up with it. Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, like album arts are like half the battle, honestly. Like if you have great music with a terrible album art that you made on freaking Snapchat, the only one who can get away with that is freaking Kanye with his Ye album. But even that had like some negative feedback on it. But
yeah, exactly. Like yeah, exactly.
But yeah, dude, you're definitely on the right track. You're definitely making big moves. What were your goals for this album?
My goals for this album is to just share my versatility and make it clear that I have what it takes to be mentioned up there with people that are right now killing it in like the mainstream world and like the big world in the music scene. Just showing like, I'm really a talent that's gonna come up and make some noise.
For sure. Are you someone that likes being independent? You have a manager and everything. You're making moves that way, or are you looking? Is like a goal of yours to be signed to a record label, or?
Really, it's just if the right opportunity presents itself, I'm always down to listen when it comes to labels and major routes. But as far as being independent, it's really just about figuring out ways to invest into what you're doing to make more money back, and you get to keep more when you're independent. And my favorite rapper, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. That's who I grew up looking at as a business model on how he ran his shit. And he really made a whole bunch of money back in the long run. And he put in all that work to make it happen. So that's really what the independent grind is like. I've been in it, like I said, like 12 years. So a lot of work has been put in, and now the revenue is starting to come back. So being independent isn't all bad. I'll be very open to partner with something or have some investors and they get percentages back, thing like that. But I just want to make sure that I contain a lot of the ownership that's really control my moves and shit.
For sure. What's the importance of, because you are a local artist, but I've actually interviewed some artists that are focused on just themselves, which is not a bad thing. Like everyone has a different way of looking about it when they're promoting themselves. But what's the importance for you of supporting the Seattle music scene? Because like you are working with, you've been on all these media outlets. You've been working with a lot of local artists.
Yeah, I mean, my real goal is to just, you know, if I kick a door down and I could bring you through the door, I'm gonna get you through the door. Like, I want to always keep that uh, reachable and connectable like way of living, because even now I make sure I respond to every comment on things, because like you're never too big or you're never like too good to just hit people back, you know, or like respond to shit. And I know people that like are just like, you know, regular, but they like for some reason feel the need like to act Hollywood, you know. And people a lot of time that's how they kill opportunity in the long run. That's how they burn a bridge. So I just make sure I'm always talking to artists around. I'm always telling people when they're doing dope shit, because you can always tell another artist when they're doing dope shit. Like, you don't gotta like not tell them, but you just think it. Like, tell artists. Like, I just push people to just like break out of that like closed boundary and just really just support their peers, and I support my peers. So my goal for it, as far as the music scene, like you were asking, is just when I get on or when I make it to a certain spot, I want to bring everybody with me.
For sure. Well, what is some advice that you have for all these up and coming Seattle artists, creators, influencers?
Advice is just keep going and don't quit. No matter what you're doing, what sound you have, how many fans, how many likes you have, no matter all of that, just keep going. Don't give in to the feedback, good or bad. Don't have reactions like that. Just treat everything like the same and keep working on you. Keep having the best product that you can make and keep faith.
For sure. Are there any music videos or anything, any merch that people should be looking forward to when it comes to your new album?
Yeah, I'll be dropping some Winners Can't Lose merch within the next month and a half. That'll be coming soon. Working on that right now, getting it all shipped up, getting it all printed up, lined up. It's my first line of merch ever, so this is going to be something special, and hoping everybody rocks with it. Other than that, music videos, I'm shooting a video next Saturday for a song off the track, and it's going to be for 3 seconds. So that's going to be that video. I got Kit Kat video coming soon, and Rock Like This music video coming soon. We had to push those back because those had people in them and extras and shit. So, you know, with what's going on now, we can't do those right now. But the video I'm shooting next Saturday, that's just like me, and I might have like one bro in it, but it's gonna be a cool video.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So is Instagram the easiest way to reach you, or what are the easiest ways to reach you?
Instagram, Twitter, at Big Jones Baby, 3 Y's, and yeah, that's my shit. Like all the social medias, and then all music platforms, just BIGJONE $, and all my music pops up.
For sure.
And yeah, I got a lot of music on those music platforms, but yeah, all my old shit is on DatPiff under my old rap name, Kid Jones. That literally has like every project up to a certain point, but yeah, that's like my old shit.
Got it. Yeah, it's been exciting to talk to you, man. Like, Cash, after I did the interview with Cash, and that's another thing I want to talk about before we finish up, though. Cash, dude, like, we both have made like a dope connection with him. So did you know him before you guys did the lunch table interview, or how did that all start?
So I just heard of Lunch Table because Fees, who's on there, I knew him prior, so I saw him having the podcast, and then I saw that Kaz was the host, or like one of the hosts on it, you know. So I reached out about getting an interview. I'm real just like hands-on, so I just reach out to people, and like, you know, if they don't respond, they don't respond. If they do, then cool. That was the goal. So I reached out about the interview, and they hit me back very quickly. Like, Cash was the one talking to me, I'm pretty sure. I was talking to the page on Instagram.
Got it.
Linked up, and then just had hella good energy, you know, and like the interview was hella dope. That was one of my favorite interviews I've done. Like, hella dope energy, hella good questions and shit. Ended up smoking and chopping it up outside, and then that led to me coming through his crib. He had an in-home studio, and played me a couple of beats for songs he had with open verses on them, and then that's what made the Emerald Playbook.
Yeah, dude, that's fire. You guys have great energy together, man. I'm telling you.
Hell yeah, thank you, bro.
Yes. So, what are some final words that you have for Seattle before we wrap up?
Man, stay safe, social distance, order your food, pick it up, go to the grocery store, go to the weed store. Those are the only 3 things you should be leaving the house for. Other than that, stay in the crib. Slap Winners Can't Lose, dropping tonight, 9 o'clock. It's gonna be out on every platform. Make sure you go get that.
For sure. And we'll drop this interview probably, let's see what time it is. Let's do 5 o'clock. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Dope. Well, this is the NAST podcast with
Big Jones.
There we go, baby. Cool. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Yeah, see ya.